step D1 here. So we got E, F, F, we got D right now. Let's go ahead and move our car up here on the side. Got bag B. So lots of bags in D. I see a 7 for, let's see, 8, 2, 1, 5, 3, 6. Alright, so we got bag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bag 1 is the differential assembly, and you can see for step D1, we're actually already kind of past the assembly of this guy, so we'll open that up, put it off to the side. D2 are the tranny cases right here, so let's go ahead and open D2. And we got our 2 tranny halves there. We got some bearings. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll take, we take 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, and we'll put them up here out of the way. So step 1, we're going to go ahead and take some of these bearings, and we're going to go ahead and line them up and put them in. And again, you got the 2 different halves. You got 2 of the bearings that line up. And it looks like we're going right in here into the top hole. So go ahead and push those bearings in. Alright, so here we go. Let's kind of out of parts here. So let's go ahead and grab D3. Okay, so here we got the gear with a larger hole through the center of it. Not that one. It looks a lot more like this one. We need 2 of the bearings here. So we got like this and like this. We got 2 of those. We need the short shaft here. That's like yay so. Okay, so we just looks like we grab a bearing here. We slide it in the outside. We grab a bearing here. We slide it in the inside. And I take the shaft and go ahead and slide it through. It looks just like this when it's done. And then the next step here, we take, so we grab the other gear. We grab the other shaft that has some flat spots on it, like so. And we gotta grab a little pin here. And that just like so. So step 1, you're gonna go ahead and put the pin through the shaft. And again, we'll hold it flat so the pin stays in. And then grab the gear here with the slot side here. And you go ahead and slide that on until it goes over the pin. So there we go, we got that guy. So now we got that guy and that guy. Now we have our big assembly here. So we take this side of the transmission house and we grab our diff that has the bearings on it already. Take our idler gear with our shaft. We're going to slide our shaft right in there. We're going to take our top shaft here, the one that's longer, and slide it all the way through here. That's 1, 2, and 3. All right. Okay. And the next step here is D5. We're going to go ahead and take our other tranny case half and line everything up. And go ahead and slide it on over. Like so. Okay, so now we got, looks like we got 3 12mm screws. Yep, 1, 2, 3, and we have 1 18mm screw. 1. Okay, the 18mm screw, I'm gonna put that one in first, just to be sure I get that one in the right spot. So we're gonna go ahead and put that guy up here, because that's the 118. Using our Phillips screwdriver again. Haven't used it for a little while. Go ahead and start that guy, get it going up here. Okay, there we go, all done. Just matches the photo like so. Okay, and we're out of parts again, so we're gonna go ahead and go to bag D4, which is the next one in line. so it looks like here we go ahead and we take a bearing spacer like so. Okay, and one bearing like so. And one spacer like so. We're going to go ahead and use the shaft here on the top. So we go ahead and we put the bearing spacer in first, and then the bearing. Put that guy over, and we got to kind of push that one in a little bit. There we go. And then put the little spacer over the top there. Okay. Next step. Alright, so we got two of our metal plates here. We have our spur gear and pads here. We have our spring here. We got a spring, and then we have our nut. So in here we're gonna have our nut driver. Now in your kit, there's a good chance that these pads are gonna come pre-applied. So if they are, you don't have to worry about the step. You just pull it off. You gotta watch the feature here. You want them to be lined up properly. Go ahead and put them on. The same thing on the other side. Okay, so you gotta take your plate here. I always take mine and just wipe them off. Just make sure you don't have anything on them. And you'll feel that there's a finer side and a sharper side. So sharper side, you want to go away from the gears. You want to put the sharper side down. And you'll see there's a little flat sides on here and there's flat sides on here. You just gotta line them up. So you slide that guy over, and then you take your gear here and you slide it on over. And you have another one here, another plate. Same thing, I just wipe mine off, just make sure it doesn't have any stuff on it. And then same flat side shape there, so you gotta make sure to line that up again. Okay, you put your spring on, and then you put your nut on. Go ahead and grab our nut driver here, and again, this is actually gonna be the other side, the larger side, just like the photo shows. Okay, and step 9, you just tighten everything down. You want to get like a 2.5 millimeter gap here on the end. I guess the best way that I would show you to do that is that you got your wrench here is 1.5 millimeters thick, and you need to go a little, almost twice the thickness of the wrench. You want to tighten everything down. So yeah, just keep going. Pretty much get all the way down there. It looks pretty good to me. We got our transmission there. Put our tools here back off to the side, and we ran out of parts again, so it looks like we're going to go ahead and open bag D5 because we got the motor in there. So we got the motor here, and it already has the power leads on there. You got the red is positive and the black is negative. You also have your pinion gear already pre-installed, and it's the Dynamite 20-turn motor. And the hardware, it looks like, to do this step D10 is probably going to be in this D6 bag, since we've already opened D5 and it didn't have any hardware. So you got gear cover there, plastic plug, and let's see what we have here. Hardware. Okay, we have. See, for this step we need the motor, and it looks like the motor is gonna slide in about like so, and we need 2 screws that are M3 by 8. So we got those there. We got our 2 washers here, 2 standard style washers. Then we have our star washers here. So we actually got 2 of those. And it looks like we're going to take our Phillips head screwdriver here. I'm going to take our 8mm screws and we're going to slide one star over. We're going to slide another washer over. And we're going to go ahead and do the top hole here first. So let's turn this motor, line it up. Looks like we got the holes lined up there. So let's go ahead and slide this guy on through. Okay, we got screw, star washer, regular washer. And remember, when you put the first screw in, you don't really want to crank down on it. You just want to get it most of the way down, but you want it loose because you want to be able to move the motor still. Now this is a really important part. It's called setting the gear mesh. So it's the gap between the small gear here, the pinion, and the large gear, the spur. Kind of like the instructions show. You don't want it too loose. You don't want the gears too far away from each other because you'll just strip out the plastic gear. And you don't want to push them all the way in to where they can't even move, because then you're just going to burn up the motor. So what you want is a little gap where you can kind of rock the large gear here, the spur, back and forth a little bit, but not a lot. But there needs to be a little bit of backlash. You want to check a few spots around the gear. So this is feeling pretty good, so I'm just going to go ahead and tighten my screws down here, kind of holding my motor in place. Check it again before I really crank down on the screws. A little bit of back play. Make sure you have at least a little bit all the way around. Okay, it's feeling a little tight here for me. So I'm just gonna loosen my screws back up a little bit and move it away just a touch. Okay, so now we got that nice and good, and these screws, you really do want to tighten these really tight. So you got make sure you get these nice and tight so that the motor doesn't move. Now that's why you have the special star washers, because they'll help keep the screws tight once you get them tight. Okay, now the next step here, we're going to go ahead and grab our gear cover, and we have a plug for the gear cover. You see the one side has a little notch cut out of it, and the other side is solid. And we're going to go ahead and take our smaller M2.5 by 8 screws here and here. Okay, let's go ahead and put this guy on top. And step 2 is going to be this screw right here. So go ahead and don't need to go crazy tight on this one because you want to be able to swing it around a little bit. And then step 3 is this screw here that's going to kind of hold that side down. So this one, you don't want to go crazy tight. You want to go tight enough that the cover kind of stays in place. So that looks really good right there. Go like that. Looks like the next step here, we're going to actually take this cover, I'm going to put it over the gears. It'll help keep all the dirt and the grime out, and we're going to take the second step, is going to be the screws. So there's some M2.5 by 8s. Yep, they're the right length, and we got all 3 of them here. So let's take our little screwdriver and go ahead and install those. Alright, so we're all done there. Alright, next bag, D7, we're out of parts, so let's open the next bag up. Alright, so now we're going to take drive shafts. Looks like we got 2 of these and our little drive shaft pins. They're kind of smooth here for most of the shaft. They got a little thread up there at the top. Of course, you can always just line them up there, see what they look like. Alright, now here we're going to want to head and make sure we see where the hole is in the shaft there. I'm going to take this guy, we're going to slide it on over, and we just want to be sure we get the get them lined up there, and then we go ahead and take our pin and we slide it on through. We're going to take our 1.5 driver, we're just going to screw that guy in, screw the top part of it in, and I'll just hold it in place, keep it from coming out. So we got that. Alright, let's do the other side the same way. So I see my line there, got my holes lined up. Push the pin in, same thing, grab the driver. All right, and the step is complete. Looks just like so. And we got M3 by 12 screws. We got 2 of those. So there's 1 and 2. And we got a little plastic piece here. And kind of see it's got the U shape here on the bottom, so it fits the U shape right there. So go ahead and get that guy, slide it over. So step 1, step 2, put our 2 little screws in there. D15. Looks like we're going to go ahead. I don't see any new parts here. There's none listed up top. So there's a little bit of a, kind of see there's a large spike and a small spike. Large, small. And same thing on the drive shaft here. So we just got to make sure we get those lined up. Just kind of turn them until they get lined up and they'll go in nice and smooth. And you get the same thing on the other side. Just kind of turn them until they get lined up. It should be pretty easy. Go ahead and everything should line up right there, just like that. So we got that guy sitting in there, nice and square. Now we're gonna need some more screws. So let's go ahead and open the D8 bag, our last sub bag here for D. So we got a motor guard and some hardware. So here we need 2 8x12 or M3 by 12 screws. So we got 1, 2. So we're going to go ahead and screw these guys in. And you'll notice that on the tower, there's a few different sets of holes. We're actually going to be using the lowest holes. Alright, so we got those 2 screws in. Let's see what the next step has for us. Alright, 2 more M3 by 12s. So we'll go ahead and take those guys, 2 of them there, line them up. And it looks like we're going to flip our car upside down here. We got 2 open holes right there with the countersinks in them. So we'll go ahead and put our screws in there and get them installed. Let's see what the next step has for us. The next step, so we have 2 M3 by 12 flat heads. We've got 2 M3 by 10 button heads. So we got all of our screws lined up here. We'll go ahead and slide our cover over. That's step 1. You can kind of see how it fits. Let's put our flat heads in right here. All right, flip it up back over. We got the top. We got the M3 by 10s going through here. Let's get those going. All right, everything's assembled. Got the whole rear end, tranny on, out of parts. No more bags sub bags for bag D. Now we're on to bag E.